All right, welcome back to Friday Night Lights High School Football here on Mega Talk Radio, Bremerton Football Network, and ISPNSports.com. Well, a big first half for the Bremerton Knights, exploding from 44 unanswered points, leading it obviously 44-0, and the clock will run throughout the third quarter until the Kingston Buccaneers can put the ball through the uprights or into the end zone with a non-stop clock, so to speak, for make you rub things in when you don't have to. Kingston just have not been able to get things going, but we're going to go right now to George Edgar with our first half stats.
Well, as for Kingston, not much in the way of statistics, only 5 yards rushing because most of their plays have gone backwards on the ground. They have a little bit of success passing, 4 of 7, but only for 16 yards. Bremerton, on the other hand, they haven't no yards passing, but they don't need to. They have 287 yards rushing all on the ground. You just run it. They're running it well on the Buccaneers defense.
I'm sorry, I was watching the shell game up on the video board. I picked the middle helmet. I lost. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, as I was saying, 287 yards rushing, 0 yards passing for Bremerton. Bremerton only 5 pass attempts. Nothing really. They didn't get Kingston something to think about, but most of their games are on the ground. All of their games are on the ground, but just giving something Kingston to think about when they go to the air.
Which the Kingston Buccaneers tried to do so with ineffectiveness in the first half, but just as much as their running back was their running game was ineffective, their defense did come up a few times big for the Kingston Buccaneers in the first half, getting a turnover off a Bremerton fumble, and then a couple stops defensively, but unable just to get things going offensively.
Bremerton's offensive line seems to be wearing the Buccaneers down. Bremerton running backs are finding holes big enough for an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, and they've been also capitalizing on some poor tackling by the Kingston Buccaneers in the first half as well.
They contributed a big rushing total for the running backs. Mario Aquino has 133 yards rushing so far on just 10 carries. Roman Sorensen has 87 yards rushing on 7 carries, 2 touchdowns. Aquino has 2 touchdowns as well. Quarterback Josh Tepenko, 27 yards rushing on 5 carries and 1 touchdown. No, that's not a touchdown. That was a 0-yard gain. And Jacoby Sorato has 4 carries and 39 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. He's getting in on the act too.
Well, the clock winding down. We got 42 seconds to go here before we start things off here in the third quarter. And the rain has eased up as we venture into the third quarter of action. Not quite coming down quite heavy and extensively as it was, but still coming down nonetheless. And will still cause a factor in the second half, perhaps of holding on. So the football will become a major priority for both teams during the second half. For the Kingston Buccaneers, they're going to have to, well, we'll see what adjustments they made at halftime. We'll see if they come out to try to throw the football more, through trying to play perhaps throw the football first, opposed to trying to run the football first, and then maybe trying to mix things up on the Bremerton Knights defensively. We'll have to wait and see.
They've got to find a way to slow down the Bremerton rushing game, because even though they did get a couple of tackles for loss on certain plays, just most of the day, everything's been moving. Bremerton offensive line has been moving everyone out of the way and moving the ball downfield.
And the Bremerton Knights, it's just been relatively easy going offensively, and of course handling the football off. And as you mentioned, the three-headed monster, Junior Aquino, and of course you got Roman Sorensen running the football. And haven't seen much of Jacob Kenga yet, but Justin Pinga running the football, Aquino and Sorensen have really been carrying the load here in the first half.
And imagine if Kenga ever gets into the game, gets a hand on the ball, he can easily go off on this defense.
And of course, we saw nice kickoff return as well for the Bremerton Knights.
Newman with that 40. Newman on the 40-yard punt return in the first quarter.
Yeah, Willis Newman was a heck of an incredible run, and we are just about ready to get things kicked off here in the second half. I do believe the Knights will kick this thing away in the first half. I can't remember what they did in the first half. I think
Bremerton will kick off.
Yeah. Thanks for dealing with us here in the first half, gang. we literally had no rosters to deal with. The only roster we had for Bremerton didn't have one for Kingston. We had to scramble getting them off max preps, and not all the numbers are right, not all the numbers are there, and then working out of the Bremerton program. Nice program, but we're dealing with going through like a yearbook type atmosphere with the program.
Most of the numbers are accurate, but there's been a couple of numbers, a couple of missing numbers that aren't there too for Bremerton.
Flipping through pages is not a conducive for play-by-play. Here's the punt taken at the 15-yard line. He'll head up the hash marks, gets out to the 30, stays on his feet, and then finally pushed out of bounds around the 31, 32-yard line. And as for the Kingston Buccaneers, we'll start things off here in the second half. And the clock will, no matter what happens, until the Kingston Buccaneers get the football through the uprights or into the end zone, it'll keep ticking away. And the Knights have eclipsed that 40-point margin and are comfortably ahead here to start the third quarter of play.
First and 10, 32-yard line for Kingston. Let's see if they can get something going.
I always wondered what it would be nice to live in that house right above across the street here. You could sit up under your on the upper level there, and we'll sit here and watch a football game.
Actually, that Jefferson Memorial in Port Townsend, there's a couple of houses on the cliff overlooking the stadium. You can see people sitting on the porch having a barbecue while they watch the Port Townsend football game.
Shotgun formation for the quarterback for the Buccaneers. Back to pass is Armin, and
that could have been
tries to get it to number 3. We never did find out his name. And the offensive coordinator says, forget it. I'm just going to join you on the sidelines. Second down and 10 for the Kingston Buccaneers. And at the 33-yard line, going from our left to our right. Buccaneers will come up to the line of scrimmage on the far hash mark. Look, Arnhem, the quarterback. One man in the backfield with him. Turn the hand off to him up the middle. Men at the line of scrimmage, and
penalty flag on the play.
And we'll fly into the fray, and finally, after no gain, maybe a loss or 2-1 to play, was the running back. And didn't see he was sworn on so quickly, wasn't able to see who had the football. I do believe it was Sam Reber, the ball carrier. And
Colquitt was on the tackle, and he's coming off the field, a little limping a little bit.
It'll be a false start against the Kingston Buccaneers, so maybe the play was blown dead before it even got going. So 9:51 and ticking here in third. The second half starting just like it did in the first half for the Kingston Buccaneers. False starts and penalties. And it's so difficult, George, to shoot yourself in the foot like that and continue to work behind the 8 ball, trying to, instead of first and 10, first and 5, it's second down and 15. And there's a throw out to the flat to the near side, incomplete. And there defensively for the Bremerton Knights, almost picking it off, was Willis Newman. On the coverage out to the near side.
Bremerton won last week 21-6 over Columbia River, and that score could have been a lot more if not for the penalties. And on the flip side, Columbia River could have made a game of it if they hadn't been picked off in the end zone twice.
So Kingston will break huddle now, needing a first down. Third down and 15. Knights on top. Here in the third quarter, far hash mark, going from our left to right as the Buccaneers. Arnhem will call for the football now. Get it rolled to the near side. Gets it out in the flat. In and out of the hands of Willis Newman. Intended for number 3 for the Kingston Buccaneers. And in and out of his hands, almost ricocheted into the hands of Newman. And the ball flutters incomplete. Fourth down and 15 for the Buccaneers. We'll have to punt the football away, and drifting back for the Bremerton Knights to return the kick as Willis Newman. He'll stroll back to around the 45, his own 45-yard line, and retreat some more there. Getting set to kick the football off for the Kingston Buccaneers is number 25. And he gets a high kick, taken at the 40-yard line by Newman. Cuts right up to 40, the 50, the 45, misses, goes to 30, 25, 20, 10-5, touchdown Newman. 55-yard scamper by Newman. And he goes to the house, his second return of the night. It's 15-0 Bremerton Knights. Holy moly.
And he went all the way on that. I think practically went untouched for 60 yards.
He's made a move to his right, made a move to his left, and then veered outside the numbers down the sidelines and goes in for the touchdown.
Special teams not.
50-0 Knights, 7:42 to go, and I was wondering why the clock was stopped.
Maybe it's not for the extra points.
Oh, well, thanks a lot. Here's the extra point. The kick is up. It is a low kick.
Oh, it bounced off the cross, bounced off the upright.
And it's the left upright and clangs off incomplete. One of the few things that has not gone right for the Bremerton Knights tonight. And the Knights will get set to kick off.